All right, good afternoon. We continue today's press conference. We have head coach Nick Cushing. If you'd like to ask a question, please raise your hand. We'll get started with Joel.
Hey, coach. So this week you're playing probably in what's going to be a pretty hot and humid climate over in Houston. Can you maybe share a little bit about if your team has prepared any differently to play in that kind of humidity? And also, what kind of an impact do you think the heat is going to have on your ability to press, and maybe how often you can or cannot do that?
Well, we had a plan to prepare today, but it's raining. So it wasn't the greatest preparation today. But no, I mean, I think we're pretty lucky in the sense of we're playing this game this early in the season. We went to Dallas last year and played in, I think, August maybe, and it was crazy weather. You know, the heat was on the high end of what it can be. And I think, this one, it'll be warm, but I don't think it'll be crazy weather. So it was nice here. There's no way that we can replicate Texas here. But for us, it's about, playing the way that we want to play, playing our identity. But obviously, when we play in different climates, that we have to play the way that the game demands. And I think we are prepared to go and play our style, and we will do that. A lot of our guys have played in Texas previously, so they know what to expect. For us, it's about concentrating on performance.
Oliver?
Hi, thank you. In past years, NYCFC has been one of the best teams in MLS in terms of defending set pieces, but that seems to have been it seems to be a real vulnerability this year in the game against, oh gosh, who did we just play? I'm sorry, I'm blanking.
DC United.
Thank you very much. In the game against DC United, the second goal was scored off of a set piece that seemed to catch Kufre a little flat-footed, so that Keaton Parks had to guard two players. So it looked like it wasn't quite working on the field. How have you been addressing this, and what do you hope to accomplish with set piece defending moving forward?
I think we're aware of it. I think it's something we were disappointed in the Nashville game, to give the first goal away there. Disappointed in the Chicago game. We're aware of it. We know our opposition are going to be aware of it. We know that everybody like yourself, you see it. I think it's natural in the sense of we're not happy with it. But I think when, we've had such a strong record, like you say, over the last 4 or 5 seasons, our set piece coach, Rob Vartugian, is exceptional at it offensively and defensively. We've been so good at it over the last, previous seasons. I think when you lose, when you give away so many set plays, which has probably been our problem. We gave too many away in the Nashville game. We gave, one away in a crucial moment in the DC game, and same in the Chicago game. I think naturally our squad has transitioned and we've changed players, and those guys that have done Alexander Callens, those type of guys that have done those roles for 5 years and they know them clearly. We now have new guys like Brian Kufre. People's roles have changed, and we just have to work at it. We have to keep reviewing it on film. We have to keep working at it on the training pitch. And I think we know, like I say, our opposition are aware of it, but so are we. And it's a real high focus of ours to make sure we improve it quickly, because if we give chances away on set play against teams like DC United with Christian Benteke and those guys, Birnbaum, they're going to be strong, and Houston will be no different. They will see it as a potential weakness of ours, and they will try and exploit it. So it has to become a strength quickly.
Trey?
Hey, Coach, I know you're not going to reveal too much, but if you can let me know what your thoughts are going into this match without Maxime Chanot at center back.
Yeah, I think when we build squads and rosters, you have to build them for dips in form. You have to build them for potential injuries. And in our league, you have to build them to compensate for international breaks, because we play through, and we feel we've done that. We feel that we have the ability to change the team at any moment, whether it's for one of those reasons. And this week it's forced upon us. We have to make at least one change because Maxime Chanot is there. I put Tavon in last week knowing that Micha was going to be away. So the positive is Tavon's had a game going into a game where, he's probably going to play because that gives us the opportunity to play. We also played 3 in the back last year, so we can do that. We can change the system and play, an Andres Jasson as a wing back. We can play, Kevin O'Toole as a wing back. We can change the shape, and the flexibility in the roster gives us the opportunity to do that.
Ronnie?
Hey, Coach. Hope you're having a good week. Just wanted to ask a little bit on this 2-game away stretch that we have, and just a message to the team as you enter 2 away games, similar how you started Nashville and Chicago, and if you feel the team's finding a little bit more chemistry, a little bit more fluidity for these next 2 road games. Thank you.
I think naturally you get chemistry and fluidity through training time. Gabriel Pereira missed out on the start of a preseason. James Sands didn't do preseason with us. Santi Rodriguez didn't do preseason with us. So we've had that time since those guys have been in over the 4 games to make sure that we build the chemistry, we train together, we become a team that finds rhythm collectively. We know that there's those stretches in our league where we get away games and we get blocks of games. We had 2 away games, then we've had 2 home games. We've now got 2 away games and then 3 home games. So if we want to be a top team and we want to be in those positions where we've been previously, 3rd, 4th, and we want to improve on that, we need to get points on the road. I thought we had a 45-minute performance against Nashville. The second half we were good, but not good enough. Chicago, we started well, but we faded away, and we know those moments are going to come on the road. If we go 1-0 up, the opposition are going to force the game in front of their home fans, whether it be by being direct or by, changing the team with substitutions, or by just trying to claw their way back in using the crowd. We have to have performances where we can manage games, we can dominate games, we can see games out, because on the road, the nature of our league is it's so difficult. But, the message to the team is clear. If we want to be a top team in the top positions, you have to get points on the road.
Michael?
Nick, thanks for the time. I want to ask a quick question about one of the new signings for NYCFC, the homegrown Johnny Shore. I don't know if it was intentional or not, but the team posted a photo of John's jersey ahead of the DC game. I know we had talked during the preseason about Maximo Carrizo, another young player, and I'm just curious if there was a different approach because Shore is a year older, or if it's a similar situation where you don't know that Shore is, if he's really going to be spending more time with NYCFC2 than with the first team.
All of those guys that we feel, those elite development players that we feel, are really important guys for us. They train with the first team 2-3 times a week. I have a real clarity on and a real consistent communication on their pathway and their development. I'm responsible for that, and Johnny is no different. We want to accelerate and we want to speed up his development so we can get him in our first team as quick as possible. But the age and physicality and the nature of our league means that we have to be patient at the same time. If we can do that as quickly as possible, we will. Maximo, Christy McFarlane, these guys are real important guys for us, but we also want to make sure that we get them ready at the speed that is needed. So, if it's quickly, it's good. If it's not, but he's in regularly. He was in today training with the first team.
Juan Carlos?
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Hi, Coach. Thank you for your time. I understand that this is a team sport. I understand that, you prepare for the opposition. But, these are 2 teams, and this rivalry is going to be, mainly focused on the midfield. So how do you prepare against a team that, relies on Hector Herrera? And, we have Keaton Parks, James Sands, and Santi Rodriguez. So how do you prepare to, face an opponent with similar strengths to ours? Thanks.
I think the game will be, both teams want the ball. Houston have got the highest average possession of any team in MLS this season. So we know that they're going to want the ball. We know that their game model and their methodology now under new manager is to have the ball and have possession. And Miami were no different. So, we know if we allow them to play through their midfield players, if Herrera is allowed to have time and space and is allowed to face the game and dictate the game, that, they're going to be a very dangerous team. So we have to restrict space. We have to make sure that we don't let their players, and he's not alone. He has quality around him. We need to make sure that we play the game that we've played over the last 2-3 weeks, which is, restrict the opposition space, be together, always be aggressive with the ball, be aggressive when we don't have the ball, and make sure that we don't allow them to dictate the game and create lots of chances. I've been really pleased with the amount of chances we've conceded in open play, because it's been a really low number for us because of how aggressive we've been up the field and how together we've been when we're low in the field. And if we can fix the amount of times that we give set play away and the chances that we concede on set play, then I think defensively we'll have had a really good start to the season.
And final one, Caroline.
Hey Nick, good to speak to you as ever. Obviously it was mentioned about Maxime. Are there any other concerns regarding the squad? And when you're facing a team that there's not been a ton of history against, and they've had so much change over the off season, how does that impact your preparation going into a game when it's early in the season?
The squad is healthy. Answer to your first question is, we don't have Maxime, we don't have Michi Ilinic, but everyone else is fit. We've got a full roster apart from those two guys to select from. I don't think having a game against a team that, one, isn't in our conference, and two, we don't have a lot of history against, is such a problem, because we're fully focused on ourselves. We're trying to really improve the principles of how we want to play, and we consistently train that way. We work at trying to be the best team we can be. Of course, we look at the opposition and we see their strengths and we see their weaknesses, and we see how we can exploit those. But the majority of our work and our focus is on ourselves and on how we can be better with the ball and how we can be harder to play against when we don't have the ball. And the guys' attitude and the guys' application and the hunger and desire in the training, I've been really, really impressed with. The intensity of our work this week has been excellent.
Great. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the pre-match press conference ahead of our game against Houston Dynamo. We have forward Tallis Magno. If you'd like to ask a question, please raise your hand. We'll get started with Caroline.
Hey Taz, good to speak to you. At the start of the season, Nick Cushing identified you as a player who was hugely motivated this year to reach a new level. I was just wondering what inspired that motivation, and aside from trophies this year, what is it that you want to achieve on a personal level?
Que tú viniste al campo bien motivado, decía Nick Cushing. ¿Qué te motiva para esta temporada y qué quieres ganar esta temporada? No trofeos, para algo personal.
Eu estou bem com uma preocupação muito grande nesta temporada, porque temporada passada eu fiz bons números e eu quero manter acima os números que eu fiz, então eu venho bem motivado para fazer mais gols, dar mais assistências e chegar a lugares altos com a equipe. Individual, eu tenho total condições de ganhar um dos melhores da MLS, um dos melhores jogadores da MLS, então eu estou motivado para isso.
This season, I feel very good. Thank you for asking. I feel very motivated. As I mentioned, I put up some pretty good numbers last season, and this year I want to maintain that and improve on that, score more goals, give more assists, and help the team reach higher levels. And on a personal level, I think I just want to be recognized as one of the best players in MLS this season. Michael Andre.
Tallis, congratulations on the goal from last week. I know scoring goals is important, especially for the number 9 position, but there are other parts of that position that are important as well. And I'm curious, besides just scoring goals, if there are other things that you look for to determine if you've had a successful game or a non-successful game. And then the second part of the question is, can you tell me, now that you don't have players like Tati or Aber in training, who are you learning primarily from?
En la posición 9, no es siempre importante meter goles. Entonces, aparte de goles, ¿en qué te enfocas tú para decir si tuviste un buen partido o no? Y ya que se fue Tati y Ever, ¿de quién aprendes hoy en entrenamiento? ¿Quién te enseña?
Então, I am very happy the first goal e eu também estou muito motivado para os próximos jogos. Eu sei que o número 9 precisa fazer muitos gols, então eu estou trabalhando para que eu possa dar o meu melhor, mesmo não sendo o meu forte fazer muitos gols, mas eu venho trabalhando para fazer mais gols na temporada. E em treinamento eu aprendo muito com coach, treinador, com Kleberson e nos treinamentos em si, e no Mendes, né? E nos treinamentos que eu peço para eles me ajudarem.
Yeah, I think as a number 9, it's important, obviously, to score goals. But it's the work rate that goes in also apart from scoring the goals. So that's something that I'm really working on, just being a complete number 9 and helping out in a work rate aspect. And in training, I learn a lot from the coaches and the staff, especially Cleverson. Joel?
Hey, Tallis. So we're more used to seeing you play on the wing with New York City FC in past seasons, but your coach last week mentioned that you had previously played as a number 9 with the Brazil under-17 team during the World Cup. I'm just wondering, has that experience being more of a centralized striker with Brazil helped you transition more easier to being a number 9, or is there still a bit of a learning curve for you a few games into the season?
Que tú jugaste de 9 con la selección de Brasil. ¿Esa experiencia te ayudó a jugar como 9 o todavía estás aprendiendo a jugar como 9?
Eu estou sempre aprendendo a jogar como número 9, porque é uma posição que eu não jogo durante muitos anos, mas eu já joguei outras vezes de número 9, mas com funções diferentes, com corridas diferentes, com movimentações diferentes, então está sendo uma experiência nova jogar desse jeito de centroavante, de número 9, mas me ajudou muito jogar de número 9 antes para eu aprender e poder me adaptar mais rápido com o número 9.
Yeah, the experience has definitely helped me learn and adapt more to playing a number 9. Obviously, it's a different position. There are different runs, different angles that you have to work on. But I'm always learning and working every single day here in training. So obviously the experience helps, but there's a lot for me to still continue to learn and grow as a player. Juan Carlos?
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Okay, great. Hola, Tales, ¿cómo estás? Un gusto hablar contigo. Bueno, ya te preguntaron de tus objetivos. Felicitaciones por el gol.
Gracias.
Pero igual quisiera pues saber si ahora están Thiago Andrade, está Gaby Pereira, estás tú igual en la posición de atacante. ¿Acaso ellos te dan unos tips o te motivan a veces cuando pues a veces en la posición de 9 pues se te dificulta un poco o pues se dan tips entre ustedes para pues mejorar la cuestión de ataque? Gracias.
Con Gaby Pereira, ¿con qué conversaciones tienes con él? ¿Con qué hablas? ¿Te motivan? ¿Cómo te ayudan?
Com Gabriel e Thiago na frente, ali conversamos muito sobre como vamos fazer gols, como vamos atacar o espaço. E uma coisa que eles me motivam muito é se o Gabriel Pereira chutar para o gol, mesmo eu estando livre, eu não reclamo com ele. E se eu chutar, ele estando livre, ele não reclama comigo. E o Thiago Andrade, a mesma coisa. Então, isso é muito motivador, porque a qualquer momento você pode finalizar quando você tiver confiança que não vai ter uma cobrança muito grande.
Yeah, I speak a lot with Gabby Pereira. We are always looking at best ways to attack the opposition, how to move, how to open up space, how to attack the opponent. So there's definitely a lot of conversations going on pre-game and during the match. And in playing with him and also Thiago motivates me a lot because we give each other the freedom to shoot whenever we have the space. So whenever he shoots, I'm not looking for the shot or yelling at him that he didn't pass me the ball. And likewise between us three. So between us three, motivate each other to take the best scoring opportunity and attack the opponent that way. Final one, Christian Henich.
Hi, Tellers. We saw this week you walking around Times Square with a very adorable looking dog. I was wondering if you could tell us a bit more about it.
Fala del perrito que tenía.
Eu tenho meu cachorro já tem 7 anos e, e ele vive muito com a minha mãe, mas tenho muita saudade dele e agora ele conseguiu vir com a minha mãe e ficar aqui alguns meses, vai ficar aqui 4 meses. Então eu dei esse passeio com ele, coloquei a mesma roupa no meu cachorro e a mesma roupa em mim e para tirar umas fotos na Times Square. E meu cachorro já tem muito tempo, então eu sinto muita falta dele.
Enorme.
Gigante.
Gigante. Okay,
Sí.
so the dog's name is Giant. He's 7 years old. He came over with my mom. We were finally able to bring him over, so he's going to stay with me for for about 4 months. And yeah, I've been missing him. He's my dog from home, so now he's going to be here with me. And we just had a nice little photo shoot in Times Square. We were both wearing the same outfits, so it was nice. It's nice to have him here. Great. Thank you, everyone.